basically in the next move? Do you think he'll leave or?
It's such a strange situation, this, because he doesn't care about United, does he?
Yeah,
He
it
really
doesn't. It
doesn't. It's
really
all
doesn't.
about.
Yeah.
I call him ELR, Europa League Ronnie, and I think he'll go anywhere that he can get Champions League football. So there was talk of Marseille during the week, which was a bit of an odd one. There's been Napoli, Juventus turned down the opportunity to sign him. Bayern Munich have turned. There he is. Look at you,
Ah,
you
there he
handsome
is.
devil.
Are we live?
We
Yeah.
are.
That's the
Jesus,
crack.
I was wondering. I was waiting for the crack. Let me turn on my green screen. Sorry.
I hear I'm the only one that's looking like I've got a broken nose, lads. This is.
Oh,
Sorry.
I'm
Jay, I
just
didn't
gonna
know
get-
we were. Apologies. How are we? How are we?
How are you, Paddy? How are you, bro?
I'm good, man. Yourself?
Pretty good, man. I've been streaming for the past nearly 4.5 hours, so been a bit, on the ball.
Fair play to you, lads. Sorry. I usually do this off stream. This sort of organising.
Yeah, no worries, man. No worries.
Green screen are the bane of our life, I swear to
Yeah.
God. And that's
Oh, man.
before you work out the fat man angle, because we have an angle that we like to shoot from as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I just kind of keep my background in the shot because I'm like, okay, it's an effort to put up a green screen. Not gonna lie.
Yeah,
know?
I know.
So yeah, I'm just gonna have my chat up on my phone so I can see if anyone puts anything in the chat. But
Hey,
yeah.
Paddy, do you notice what's behind Cal there on the wall?
Oh yeah, shit, yeah. I forgot to
Oh,
show you.
lovely. Oh, Gavin Bazunu.
Paddy's
Hey,
actually mates with Bazunu, so Paddy
really?
put me in contact with Bazunu for a signed shirt I wanted to get. But yeah, he's always been a big Bazunu supporter.
Yeah, there's a story behind this actually. It's pretty personal, but I'm just gonna say it because it's a cool story. But basically, it's like there's a photo there. It's the kind of light is kind of igniting it. But basically, my friend, he had cancer and he got that off Bazunu, and then he passed away in December. So his parents were like, "Okay, I know you're a big football fan. You like Bazunu and all that." So they gave it to me as a little, memorial
Oh,
gift.
Sorry to
Oh,
hear
sorry,
that.
yeah.
A lovely
That's,
gesture, though.
It was
Yes.
lovely. Like honestly, I honestly, when I gave it to me, I was like, "Are you sure? Are you sure?" I think I said it about 20 times. Like, are they sure? It was crazy, honestly.
It was a very classy act from his parents,
Exactly, yeah.
or from their parents, excuse me. And what a horrible situation that must have been for everyone. What age was the person?
He was 15.
Oh my
Jeez.
days.
Yeah, it was mental to be honest. But luckily, like I keep in contact with his parents a lot, and we talk a lot, and I'm getting a tattoo of his name on my wrist in the next few weeks. So,
Oh, very nice.
but yeah, I have a few questions for you, if that's all right, which is,
Yeah,
obviously I
sure.
got these in on Instagram. So the first one is from my mate Ryan. He basically has a question. It's basically Kelleher or Bazunu. Who would you rather have in the Irish team?
I think we'll both answer the same, unfortunately. We both love Queevy and Kelleher, but Bazunu is the number one for a reason.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
very
absolutely. And he gets bonus points because we follow each other on Instagram.
true.
What can I say? Gotta drop that in there. you know?
Although Kelleher gets bonus points because he looks the spit of the guy who runs Anfield Agenda with me.
Does he
That's true.
actually?
Yeah, Connor
Yeah.
looks really similar to Queevy and Kelleher.
Yeah,
That's
big
mad.
time.
No, we went to the Ireland Qatar game, and basically we were like trying our hardest. We had like our own sign and everything for Kelleher. I threw my little brother like right onto the barrier to hold it up, and all the stewards let him go on, but like Kelleher just didn't see it because they just couldn't come over as far just in case. But it was so funny. My brother had a blast. So I'd have Bazunu as well because like, I think he's just a better keeper. We'll see how he's like at Southampton. It's just the defense ahead of him isn't great at Southampton, if you ask me.
Great
Yeah.
move from though. Great to
Yeah.
see again, as well as Nathan Collins. Great to see Irish players making that step up again.
Oh, for definite, for sure.
Nathan Collins, yeah, exactly. We're on the up again, please God.
Oh yeah, it's good to see Irish talent getting out there, especially with Jason Knight. He's coming into it a bit more now. I feel.
Yeah, he's class.
I actually play for the academy he went in, so it's pretty mental. He used to play for my club when he was younger, so I know.
Who was he? Kevin's.
Kevin Thiele.
Oh, Kevin.
Oh,
Thiele,
Kevin
yeah.
Thiele.
So it was kind of mad to be honest, but yeah, like we always see him around. Like he normally does, like when we do like the tournaments and stuff. He normally hands us like the cups and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it's pretty mad.
It's really weird, man. I was growing up, Kevin Thiele weren't really that big of a club as they are now. Like when I was growing up, it was all about Joe's, Home Farm, St. Kevin's, Belvedere, Stella Maris. But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Cabin Healy have really pushed on over the years. They've amalgamated with Bray Wanderers now as well, senior
Yeah,
level,
they
haven't
have.
they?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one because like when you come to like my age group when you have like League of Ireland stuff, some people who should be playing League of Ireland be playing lower, and it kind of makes the teams a bit uneven. But like it's a
Yeah,
bloody mess. It's a bit of a mess of a situation if you ask me. But
I
A
could
good
have made
friend of my
it.
wife's plays with Bray Wanderers or Cabin Healy, Marty Waters.
oh, I know Marty. Yeah, I know him.
Yeah, he's a good friend of my wife's. I've done a few bits with Marty over the years as well. Lovely guy, and great to see him still having a career in League of Ireland.
Yeah, I've trained with him a few times actually. Funnily enough. It's kind of crazy. Like I've trained with him, and he's come up to me and he said like that I'm a decent player. So getting that advice off him is pretty mad, you know.
Absolutely great to hear.
Yeah,
Love that.
he's a very good goal scorer for Cabo. So like I think he's top goal scorer of all time there. I think I'm pretty sure. But yeah, did you see the City game earlier? 3-3.
Yeah, I would go good to see them drop points. Would have been nice if they got the if they lost the whole thing. But yeah, it gives me a little bit of hope going into tomorrow, which
Oh
should be
yeah.
a routine 3 points for Liverpool against that shit show.
Oh stop! If I don't think I'll live it down if we drop points.
No,
I was
if
just
we do
on a
drop
watch
points,
along. Sorry, Paddy,
Yeah.
go ahead.
no, go on. You're doing a watch on for it, Craig, obviously.
I
Yeah,
just did a watch along of it there, and I have to say, Jared Gilla, how that wasn't a penalty on Shar from Stones, I do not know. I don't know what game he was watching, but
Mm.
wasn't great. And that red card as well that he rescinded, but even for his brain to go for a red card, it was a yellow every day of the week. We see them challenges week in and week out, but what an advert for the Premier League. It was an incredible game of football.
Yeah,
yeah,
I saw like I was just streaming. All of a sudden, my phone kept buzzing. It was like 3-1, 3-2, and then 3-all. I was like, oh Jesus! Like they've just turned on the afterburners like they did against Villa last season.
yeah. I was getting a bit of PTSD when those
Yeah,
notifications came through. I won't lie. I had City in one of my bets today, and I was like, yeah, typical enough. Yeah, I was like, yeah, but you're listen, these things happen.
Oh, Paddy, I'm not taking days off anymore, mate. I got cleaned out yesterday as well. I lost about 300 quid yesterday. I shouldn't take days off.
It's
Fuck's
rough.
sake.
It's rough you shouldn't be allowed with your own gambling thoughts. I'm the same. I have to be kept away from that place.
I normally just put on first goal scorer. That's it. I don't do any of the mad bets.
Yeah, you're better off.
AJ, yeah, I was
Yeah.
stupidly backed AJ last night, even though
You
my
did
head
it.
was like, why? I was at the first one. I seen Usyk pick him apart, and yet I still said, nah, let's go back AJ.
Oh, I saw that. My mum kept saying, "Oh, put 20 quid on AJ." I was like, don't, you'll lose money. I promise you, you'll lose money."
Yeah,
Because I just had a feeling Usyk would beat him again. But
he lost his head. I've never seen anything like it. It was mental.
I have to see like the backstage stuff going in when he's like going at all the fans or whatever he was going at.
I think it's because he knows his career's over now. To be fair,
Yeah, I don't.
Myself and Connor were in Spurs Stadium for the first fight. It was an unbelievable night, like an unbelievable venue for such a big event.
Yeah,
mm.
I've always wanted to go to a boxing fight, so like I've managed to get tickets for the KSI one next week.
I
So
never really, want,
Nice.
I never really wanted to go to a boxing fight, but I always wanted to fight. So there we go. Sorted that.
yeah, nah,
I
I
don't like.
actually,
Ironically, I don't like boxing. I think it's boring as fuck. Unless it's yourself fighting.
yeah, I
It's
can
giving me the
understand
urge,
that.
Paddy. I'm waiting for the check to come in through the inbox, the offer. It's giving me the urge watching it all. I won't lie.
I know. I'd love to see you clean out Goldbridge, even though the weight division obviously be a bit off. He's probably in the fucking ultra straw weight, but it would be funny to see you batter him.
He would never do. I mean, I've had this conversation with him a few times. Regardless of who the opposition is, it's just not something I think that would interest him.
Mm,
Yeah, to be fair, it is a bit of a different ball game being willing to take a few slaps, but bit of crack,
yeah.
a lot of crack actually.
Nah, speaking on like the whole taking part and stuff, Paddy, you're in that charity match, right? The Pell, what's it called? Pell?
Yes, exactly. I'm wearing
How
the
did that?
shorts.
Yeah, how did that get on?
Yeah, it went well. It was great. It was good to finally get one of them games in Ireland.
Mm.
Done a few in the UK, which is still unbelievable as well. But it's obviously handy to do one in Ireland. Yeah, it was good. A good day out, and there's talk of doing a UK versus Ireland one upcoming, so that could be unbelievable. So I'm looking forward to that.
Hopefully, I'll be big enough to take part.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
absolutely, 100%.
that's basically the goal. I've told my friends like that's the main goal to get into a charity match just to enjoy that because I love football and stuff like that. So
Absolutely,
hope,
it's good. It's a perfect combination.
yeah, exactly. All right, my next question comes from Jake. He basically just said, "What are your opinions on Haaland on to City? How do you think he's gonna booster their team?"
Craig, what do you reckon?
Look, it's I want to say something negative, but I can't. I can only say that he's going to be good because he's going to be good and he's an incredible forward.
It's hard to look at, in fairness, though.
He looks like a human rubber duck, yes, definitely. But
He's
look, he's going to be brilliant, isn't he? I still think Salah outscores him. If I'm going to be a little bit bold with that, but yeah, he's a goal scoring machine, isn't he?
Yeah.
he's a joke. He will. He will. He's always going to score goals. I never made any kind of like I never said anything against that, but I was just one question his injury record.
Yeah.
But so far it's been good for him. But no, he just scores goals all the time. He's just and in that City system, I'd score 20 a season. I wouldn't. And I'm being.
I don't know, man. I've seen your penalty. Still saying that hit the bar.
It clipped the crossbar, Craig. I have had it confirmed by the Premier League officials.
I mean, that doesn't hold any water with me, the Premier League officials, Paddy. That's
Yeah,
just...
well, to be fair, I'd probably rather the Nicaraguan league instead.
Yeah, no, I just think that honestly, looking at how they've like comparing Haaland to like, I'm not going to compare him to Nunes because Nunes needs to settle in a lot more and get him really sorted out. But comparing him to Gabriel Jesus's difference for Arsenal, I think Gabriel Jesus is going to have a more of a difference. Just because look at Arsenal's attack now, they look very dangerous going forward. If you ask me, like very very dangerous.
They are. I underrated Gabriel Jesus. I said he was an overrated fraud, and I've eaten humble pie early on into the season. But no, Arsenal look really good, and I've said if Liverpool don't win the league, I hope it's them.
Yeah, that I'd love to see. If Liverpool don't win, I'd love to see someone else other than City. Like, as long as it's not United, that's grand. But this doesn't look like United.
It won't be.
It won't be.
United.
Yeah.
It will not be.
Yeah, I don't think there's any danger United winning the league anytime soon, unless it's the Championship. Even then, honestly, I wouldn't back them. Shit fuckers.
You wouldn't know.
Hate them.
Oh, I can't stand them. I cannot stand
They're
them.
awful. Irrelevant. Great to see them so shy.
That's the thing. It's all down to tomorrow.
If you don't beat them, I'm going AWOL. I'm sorry.
It's
Never
the
seen it
annual pilgrimage to Old Trafford for the 3 points. It won't be an
Yeah.
issue. They're
Yeah.
so bad.
I'm
Is it
not
not-
gonna. Yeah.
Oh, it is, yeah.
I'm not gonna underestimate United because I just have a habit of saying this because
I know you should.
I know I should, but it's just that like it's United. Like I think we will win. I think I predicted like a 2-1 or 3-1 to us. I don't think it'll be a slapping like the last time. I don't think it'd be 5. I don't think so. But
No,
I think it'd be a solid 2-1,
I don't think 5 either. I'd probably say 6. No, we will beat them. If we don't beat them, genuinely, that's gonna be worse than losing 3 on the bounce.
If we don't win tomorrow, you won't see me for dust. I will be in hiding.
Yeah, likewise. Yep, incognito mode for the next.
The next question comes from Keane. Basically, he just says, "Who's your favorite Liverpool player of all time?"
Craig,
for me, Robbie Fowler.
God. Oh Jesus, it is a hard one. It like in terms of how good they were and how a player I kind of fell in love with. Luis Suarez is up there. Torres is up there. But for longevity and everything, I think it's got to be Stevie G. But I won't lie, he pissed me off with the bottle job in May with Villa. So yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna say, yeah, I'll say Gerrard.
Yeah.
I'll just follow up and say that I've never seen somebody in the flesh like Suarez, though. He was phenomenal. Like, I was lucky enough to be at the game where he scored those goals against Norwich. He was just unbelievable. He's a special footballer. It was a privilege to watch him play, but I just fell in love with Fowler growing up, so Fowler for me.
Yeah, for me, because obviously I'm still quite young, like I wouldn't have had like the Fowlers or anything like that. So for me, it probably would have been Suarez because just I got to see him once.
What a joke.
Unfortunately, the match was a 0-0 draw, but we won't talk about it. But
and my first game was a 0-0 draw as well against Sunderland. Adam Johnson played for Sunderland. So
I was so lucky with Suarez. I got to see the 4-0 home win against Everton. I got to see that goal where we drew 1-0 with Newcastle and he rounded Tim Krul really late in the game. And the goals against Norwich. So I was really lucky with Luis Suarez's time for games that I went to.
That Newcastle goal is one of the most underrated in Premier League history.
I went flying down the paddock steps. I was sitting right behind the pillar for that one, so I had a restricted view. And I tried to get a look. And when they scored, I went flying down the steps.
What a goal, man.
I remember because Suarez scored in the West Ham game, but it was ruled offside. And you know the way that the seats, they're kind of like the flip up seats, and like there's kind of the gap. Because I think I was like, what? I think I might have been like 4 years old or so, and I was in the cop. So I had to be lifted up by my granddad to see anything. And I remember I fell down the paddock seat when Suarez scored. And here's me, just a little 4-year-old caught in the middle of a seat in the middle of the cop while everyone's going mental and everyone starts swearing at the offside. And there's a video of it that will never reach out to the internet, but yeah, it was a memory for sure. That's definitely.
Some crack, all right. Happy days. You remember, you cherish those moments.
Ah, for sure, definitely. Just
Yeah.
getting to see Suarez live in the flesh for a Liverpool shirt is just something a memory to hold.
I actually didn't get to see him, unfortunately, but you know what? Maybe one day I'll make the pilgrimage to Uruguay and see him before he retires.
Weirdly,
Yeah.
I didn't get to see Torres live.
No,
No.
neither did I. To be fair, fuck, jeez, I haven't had much luck here.
I don't think I was able to speak by the time he was playing. I don't know.
I remember I was at a press conference when Liverpool came over to the Aviva. I had a press pass for it. And I was at the games the night before. Mourinho was there at the time with United, and then it was Liverpool the day after. And I remember sitting in the front row. Klopp came into the press conference, and as you know, I like to talk, but I was starstruck, baffled, couldn't put my hand up for a question, completely bottled it. And I've never been like that in my life, but he just has an aura about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I can empathize with that. Yeah, it gets you weak at the knees, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's proper vibes when he comes around.
Yeah, what a man.
My next question is for you, Paddy. It comes from Jake. Obviously, you had the boxing fight in the past, and have you got any plans to get back into the ring at any choice? Or?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll be hopefully stepping back in for a rematch down the line. No confirmation of dates or whatever, but yeah, should be hopefully a second Kingpin event, which I'll be on, fingers crossed. Whether it's the rematch or some other one, I'm just getting back in and looking to get in there with more weight down, and hopefully well fitted shorts and keep my arse in my trousers.
No, I have to admit, like the weight loss is really impressive. Like it's really really good. I've fair play to you, like.
Cheers! A long way to go, but we're plugging away anyway. And
to start,
you know, you still have to treat yourself on the weekend every now and then. Me and the boys
course.
here went for an meal earlier on, had an milkshake, which was horrible, so it wasn't worth the calories. But listen, yeah, you got to enjoy yourself as well.
Exactly. But no, keep it up, genuine. It's really good.
Cheers.
I'm really excited to see how it goes.
Thank you, man.
The next question comes from Aiden. Basically, he just has your thoughts on Nunes. How do you think he's gonna get on?
I think he's going to be brilliant, but he needs to learn from what he did in the last game. But look, I've been really impressed with him. I didn't think we were going to spend the money to get him, if I'm being really honest with you. But since he's come in, I can see why the club have gone after him, because we needed to respond to Haaland going to City, and this is probably the best we could do it. So yeah, delighted with him, but he needs to learn from that bit of rush of blood to the head.
Yeah, for definite.
Yeah, absolutely. That was obviously foolish, but I have no doubt he's going to score a lot of goals. And I'm really excited by him, and I look forward to seeing him back in at the start of September.
Yeah, I feel like with the whole mistake with the headbutt, it kind of gives the sort of Suarez kind of vibes to him, with the whole Suarez with the biting and stuff like that.
Hopefully without the racism.
Yeah, hopefully without that. But he seems like he'll be a very very good attacking striker. I think he suits our play style as well, because he's fast, he's big. He has that aura about him in the box where he can get up and score a header. So it's nice to have that aerial threat along with Virgil and stuff like that in the box.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
The next question, this is from me. I just wrote down a few questions. Is what made you, or who made you fall in love with football? Is there anyone that really captured your eye? It was like when you were younger or whatever, who really caught your eye?
For me, footballer wise, Fernando Torres. He was the first player I fell in love with, and yeah, obviously I supported a bit before that, obviously as well. But Torres was the first kind of player I really was mad about, and yeah, that blonde hair, those Carlsberg jerseys, the total 90s, the headband. Oh man, he broke my heart when he went to Chelsea, but I'm glad he flopped, the little bollocks.
Yeah.
God, I'm going to show my age here, lads. Mine's a little bit different. I'll be Maradona, Van Basten, Jean-Pierre Papin, Hristo Stoichkov, those type of players. Robbie Fowler, John Barnes, Packy Bonner from an Irish perspective because I was a keeper. But yeah, players like Van Basten and Jean-Pierre Papin at Marseille. I loved him when I was growing up. So they're the ones for me. I like the flair players.
Yeah,
You might be tempted back to FIFA then, Craig. He's just been announced as a hero card for FIFA
exactly.
23 on. So there
Nothing
you
has tempted me back to that, Paddy. Nothing.
go. I don't blame you. It's an absolute shit show.
Oh,
I
it's
don't even
it's
know.
oh
I'm
lads, it's
going to.
scripted as hell. I don't know how anyone plays it.
I play career mode. I don't play Ultimate Team. I can't stand it.
Yeah, Ultimate Team. Oh, you dabble in Ultimate Team here and there, I tell you. Oh, that was my bank account.
Oh Jesus. Yeah, no. For me, like because obviously I'm long younger. For me, it would have been Iniesta or Xavi. You know, that real Barcelona team, the 09, 010 Barca team. Is just that team was ridiculous. Like the
You must
way.
have been in the room with that team.
Probably. I was 06, so just watching them. I was football mad when I was young. I have
Yeah,
photo. I think there's a photo of me. You know, with the black Carl. I think it's the black standard Charlton Liverpool kit from like 11 or 12. I
20
think. Yeah.
yeah.
I was Liverpool mad and football mad. I remember even watching the Champions League when Robin scored in the last minute for Bayern to beat Dortmund at Wembley.
2012, yeah. Or
Yeah.
no,
2013.
2013 was.
2013,
Yeah.
14, I think it was.
I think
Yeah.
that Barca 09 team was potentially the best club side ever
Yeah.
put together.
Yeah.
Like unbelievable.
I think yeah, it'd be hard to touch that. In fairness, they were a joke.
That Messi just was ridiculous. It just when he first came into that Barca team along with Iniesta, it's just ridiculous, honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
brilliant group of players to come through.
Oh, for sure. And the next question is again from me, and personally something I want to really know as well. What pushed you to start like content creation and just TikTokers or streams in general? Like, what kind of pushed you to get onto that?
You go first on this, Paddy, because I've never heard this answer from you. So
Oh, we'll do. Well, I suppose for me, I've always I done like acting when I was a kid, and I always was that way inclined. And then obviously my neighbor was Rory Stories.
Yeah.
When he was a family friend of ours and was friendly with my brother and sister growing up, so I knew him. I heard he was starting out. He's like, I'm going to start making sketches, and I just offered my services. Like, listen, if you ever need help, I fancy myself as a bit of an actor. So if you need any help, so I've done that with him for like 5 years solid, helped
Yeah.
him build from the start to bottom really, and then had a great time with him. And then we kind of just grew apart, just in terms of I wanted to go do my own thing, because I think doing that was great, but I was in my comfort zone where I was hiding behind the shield of someone else. But then over the lockdowns, I kind of just done my own thing and started football content in about a year and a half ago, and kind of haven't really looked back from there. And thank God it's gone well, and long may it continue.
Well, look at you now. You should have seen me beforehand on the stream. I was shitting myself. I was like, Paddy Murphy, I'm for the agenda. Oh my god, this is fucking. So, yeah, trust me. Like, I'm a huge fan of both of you for ages. Someone has just put a follow in my chat and blared my ears. But anyways, like genuinely, I've been watching. Like Craig, I told you the other day, I've been watching you since the Barca stream with the 4-0.
what a game!
What a game! I cried at that game. First game, I've actually full on bawled my eyes out. I was tears. But
First game I full on got my tits out.
yeah,
What a stream! I love watching that one back. That was quality.
Yeah, it was fun, all right.
But yeah, Craig, what about you? What pushed you to start content creation?
So I've always been a huge fan of a football pundit called Graham Hunter, and I've always loved how he's been able to describe the game and light it up and give a real good visual through audio of what you're watching and what you're hearing. So he'd be my inspiration. I kind of accidentally came into it. I started writing articles for Anfield Index, and as part of that, they had a podcast that you could go on called the Writers Podcast, where you spoke about articles and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that, and I threw up before my first one. I was so nervous, I actually threw up in the bathroom, and then did that, and then got fed up with everybody agreeing with each other on their podcast. Everyone was just like patting each other on the back, and I just thought, nah, this isn't right. So I started my own podcast. Podcasts are great and all, but it's not very interactive. You make it, you throw it out to the world, and you hope people like it. But then Connor said to me, why don't you go on YouTube? I was 37 at the time, and I said, I'm old, no. And he said, give it a bash. We did, and somehow being a lunatic has paid off, and screaming abuse at referees on the TV and stuff. Angry bald man swears a lot. That's basically how I describe my stream. So
rolls off the tongue.
Yeah,
Happy days. You're going well now. It was a good decision to go to YouTube anyway, that's for sure.
yeah,
Honestly, I still don't understand why people watch. I'll never understand it, but I'll keep going as long as people do.
because you're an entertaining watch. These are both really entertaining. Like I have to
I
admit.
tell you the one thing I've been strange point, but to prove to my wife that I'm not the only man that swears and screams at the television watching football has been probably the biggest benefit of all of this, because now she realizes there's a lot more lunatics
Yeah,
out there than just the one she's married to.
I'm the same. I do be in the pub screaming at the TV. Like it's yeah, I'm the exact same. Like I don't. I think a lot of football fans are like that. To be honest, if you're
This is what
passionate about it.
gets me. Like, you get people on social media who like say how embarrassing it is when you react to this.
Mm,
I mean, we've all been in football stadiums. It's a lot worse. It's just they don't happen to have cameras on them that are left
mm-hmm.
up there forever. So that's the only difference I feel, is that people who slag off our reactions, I feel, are just being disingenuous, because that's kind of the way most people react to situations in real life.
Yeah, that kind of leads into a question I have. It's like, how do you deal with the whole hate comments or hate, text messages or whatever? Really, just hate in general on social media.
I would say Paddy's probably much better at dealing with it than I am. I take it to heart a lot of the time. I won't lie, I do. I
Mm,
shouldn't, but I do, because you look for that confirmation of your content because you're insecure and you want people
exactly.
to like you. You want everyone to like you.
Exactly.
And for me, I might get 100 nice comments, but the one negative one will be the one that sits with me. And it depends then what type of place I'm at mentally, how I deal with it. Sometimes I'll go into myself and kind of distance myself from everybody for a little bit. Sometimes I feel sorry for myself, but ultimately it is completely unnecessary, some of the stuff that
Yeah.
not just comes at me or Paddy, but a lot of content creators. It is something that I don't understand, because like, if I didn't like your channel, Carl, as an
Mm,
example, I wouldn't watch it. I
exactly.
certainly wouldn't get out of my way to watch it and then abuse you.
Mm,
I'll never understand the mentality of that. Like, if I
yeah.
don't like a TV show, I don't watch it. I don't ring up RTE and start shouting at them because the TV show's on.
Yeah.
So it's a strange one for me, but look, I struggle to deal with it. I won't lie.
Yeah, like for me, because obviously I'm still in school, and oh, he's the YouTube kid or the streaming kid or the TikTok kid. You know what I mean? So like today when I'm playing, like even when I play football matches, I'm like scared that someone's gonna recognize me or like on the other team or something. And go, oh, that's the lad who plays TikTok or all this stuff. Like it happened to me today when I played in a match today. Like some dude was like, oh, it's the TikTok lad and all this, but managed to score a goal in front of him. So
There you
balances
go.
out.
That's the way to answer.
Yeah, but Paddy, how do you deal with it if you don't mind me asking?
To be honest with you, it doesn't really phase me. I couldn't give a shite what some random little bollocks is saying about me. Like, I only take heed of the good stuff. I think it's helped that I started doing it when I was young with Rory, the content, like literally about
Yeah,
when I was 15, so about 10 years. Rory taught me a lot about it. He always has said never respond to the hate because they feed off the hate.
yeah,
And if you kind of reply to them, they'll come back again. So it doesn't bother me. It very rarely bothers me. Like my mother would see it and be like, "Oh my god, I've seen someone made a video on it and they said this about you." I was like, who cares? Like, it doesn't matter. There's obviously certain things in my head that would trigger me, but thankfully they've never really been said because it's
yeah,
so there are certain things in my head that if someone did mention or try and make fun of, then I probably would lose my reason. But yeah, I focus on the good. There will always be bad, but you focus on the good. But for anyone starting out, just never. I would always advise never to just reply to them because they feed off that. I see little young lads on TikTok who start making accounts, they get big and they just reply to hate constantly, and
mm,
then it just brings it all on, and then next thing you know they're literally drowning in hate comments, and it's unfortunate, but you have to just like be able to look past it. But as Craig said, it baffles me that people can go to that degree, but sometimes there's little young lads who want the reaction.
yeah,
They'll just say the worst possible thing they can just to get that reaction. So just try not
yeah,
give it to them is what I would say.
Yeah,
exactly.
I've had people say to me that, why don't you do what your mum and dad did and kill yourself, like over and over again
Jesus
into our chat,
Christ.
and that
Yeah.
hurts. Even
Mm,
though it shouldn't, it does, because that's two of the most devastating things that could happen in your life. Like, and yeah, and you say this to try and help people to show it's okay. You can speak out. Like, I suffered
mm,
with my mum killing herself, and I spoke out. And you hope that people don't use that against you, but unfortunately, there are some people willing to use that against you, and
mm,
it says a lot about them, to be honest with you. They're obviously projecting their own hurt at other people, but
yeah.
what I don't like is people saying to you, just don't react to it and stuff like that. Because for me, That's fair enough. And what Paddy says is very truthful, but we need to get to a place where it's just not expected. It's just not
Yeah.
acceptable that people act in that way. Like, we need to call people out more on it.
I
Yeah,
think it's very
exactly.
much not reacting is obviously if someone said something like that to me, that's you would react to that, of course. There's no qualms. I like it would be literally impossible to not people who can say that sort of fucked up stuff.
Mm,
It really does baffle me, and they are a cancer on society.
mm. Yeah,
I
I
have a
don't
rule,
get that.
Cal, that I have that I'd never write something or say something that I wouldn't say to somebody if they were standing in front of me. And that's a rule that I've always tried to use moving on. Now, look,
Mm,
in the heat of the moment, we all say things we regret. And sometimes people have had the decency to apologize, and I'll always accept an apology because, it shows that they're coming from a good place.
yeah. No, that's really nice to hear because like that's why I'm doing the whole mental health streams because like you say like with the whole your parents like that stuff would really if that happened to me that would really sit with me, and so like that's why like I try to say my whole stream is basically just like kind of support each other. Like if someone comes into the stream, my mods like are always like welcome, 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 trying to give that good positive output on the stream to make sure like everyone becomes sort of like a family or fan base like to each other because I don't care. Everyone like, oh yeah, you have this many viewers. To me, they're not viewers. Like I see them as okay, there's like people watching me who are gonna be like somewhat of a family if you get me. So it's just something like that. So like with the money we've raised, it's insane. Like I'm so glad with it. It's just insane.
It's great that there are people like yourselves and my daughter's generation as well. I have an 18-year-old daughter who's far more in tune to being able to and comfortable about speaking about it. Like,
Mm.
I think suicide is the biggest killer of males under 30 in Ireland, and I've lost two friends to it over the years, and my mum to it. So it's something that needs to be spoken about more. And speaking openly like yourself is brilliant. So well
Yeah,
done and keep up what you're doing.
like I have speaking up about it. Like I have in the past, I have attempted. So I do speak up about that because some things like when you're young, obviously some things is, but you like so much shit that can go through, especially with social media. That's why I'm focusing so much on it because I'm like, okay, I've put so much work into it now. I have to keep going with it, regardless what anyone else says. He's gonna have to keep going with it. That's why like I have a few friends who are on and off with like whether should they start, should they not. But like, I'm just saying, like, if you're confident and you have a passion about it, just go with it. Same with football or anything you're really passionate about, like, just go with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm I
100%.
don't know how you guys do it growing up with social media. I grew up obviously without it, so hardened up from that over the years because yourself Irish friends were vicious towards
Yeah.
each other, but they're your mates, so you don't mind
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
But yeah, the
Yeah,
pressure on young people these days with social media, it's incredibly tough. So
exactly.
just understand it isn't real. It's not real. People don't have brilliant lives. Everybody puts their best foot forward on social media. You don't see the downsides of people's life. It's like betting. A good example. You'll hear about all the bets people win, but you won't
You
hear
won't hear about
about
the
the
bets they
many, many,
lose.
many that they don't win. And there
there
are
isn't.
many.
Yeah, exactly.
No
But
comment.
yeah. But yeah, no, I really do appreciate like with that. It really does mean a lot to me because I'm a real big fan of you both. So it means a lot. It's like meeting your heroes. So it really does mean a lot to me.
I was like that the first time I met Paddy as well, to be fair.
you really, you really shouldn't. You really shouldn't. I'm a bollocks, truly.
And Chris Stonage isn't 6'2". I'm still not having that.
No, I know. It's a that's one of them Mandela effect jobbies. I don't believe
Something
it.
going on there. Yeah, there's something going on.
He must drug us every time before we meet him. We have like anti dwarf pills or something.
Mine aren't
That,
working.
that's just me to any of my mates. I'm only 5'7". All my mates are like 6'2", 6'3". I'm sitting there like, yeah.
My mate Jake's about 5'5". He's he's a good little guy. He's a good lad though.
I'm married a
I
5'3" lady, so I can feel semi-tall.
Oh, that's good strat. I know it's weird. I could never. I have to be taller than a partner for sure.
yeah, I just feel
Definitely.
really insecure. I just feel really
I'm
insecure.
actually 7'5" wide.
Oh. But yeah, another question that I've got is have you got like a favorite Liverpool player like who's in the squad at the moment? Like have you
Oh,
got
for
do you
me,
have
it's Bobby. Bobby,
Bobby?
definitely. Although he drives me mad a lot
Yeah.
of the time, I absolutely. A Bobby for me and a goal hits different. It just feels different. I don't know why, but yeah, Bobby for me.
Oh, I'd have to say Thiago for me. Thiago or Diaz because
Oh yeah.
I'm fickle. I like them based on how good they are. So Thiago was just that good, and I just Diaz. I actually know what Diaz. No, I like me Spanish speaking players. I'm a
Mm.
bit of a thing for that. So yeah, he's a world
Thiago's
player.
just what a man,
Nice.
Thiago.
If
Yeah,
only he wasn't made out of glass. If
the
only.
paper mache, or that's
Yeah.
he made out of fucking baguettes, man. It's a shame. Such a player though.
Yeah, I'm a real big fan of Elliot. I think he's
Oh, great
very
shout.
promising, very, very promising player that I'm just so excited to see, you know. Like especially with him, as he said, like on social media, he said he's like getting tips off Salah. Salah's like giving him like the sort of tutoring, which I feel like, especially with the last few games, he's been arguably one of our most creative players, if you ask me. Like he's
Yeah,
always lively on the ball. He's always looking to get forward. It's good to see, like from a Liverpool player, like especially when the likes of Salah or whoever isn't having a good game. You have Elliot, you have Carvalho. We still need to see him in the Prem. God knows how he's going to be. Like he was promising in pre-season, if you ask me. Um, but
He's giving out mad Coutinho vibes, isn't he?
yeah, mad Coutinho vibes, if you ask me. But it'll be
dirty
very
ball.
interesting.
I love Harvey Elliott. I think he's an incredible role model, and I think he's got a very wise head on his shoulders. Once I heard that he turned down the offer of meeting Ramos and signing for Real Madrid because of the Salah thing, I was sold before
Yeah,
he'd even kicked the ball for us. I love them.
for sure. It's nice to have that, you know, the young talent that are like willing to like, you know, this is my club, this is who I play for, this is like I'm staying
Mm.
here. Something similar to what Gerard was like to the club. Gerard was so loyal to the club and stuff like that. It's nice to see players like that who are willing to stay. Like I got scared that Salah was gonna leave, and then all of a sudden he signs the 3 year deal. It was nice to see.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
that
good.
was brilliant.
So, yeah. The next question I've got: have you got any like specific goals you've got for the rest of the year, or anything you really
World
want to achieve?
domination. World
Definitely a
domination.
live show. A
Mm,
live show is my obsession at this moment. And Paddy doing the boxing kind of gave me that belief because, you know, that was one of Paddy's bucket list moments. And for
mm,
me, the bucket list moment has always been wanting to stand on a stage with the audience behind you and take that selfie. So,
yeah.
yeah, if we can do a live show, that would be brilliant for me. I don't know about Paddy getting a win inside the ring, probably.
Yeah, if we can get it before the end of the year, absolutely. Just continue with the weight loss, scoring in a charity game. Um, Probably 500,000 across all socials would be nice.
Yeah.
Got to aim high and just continue, having a happy and healthy family and being healthy
Yeah.
myself. That's always the main thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like as I said earlier about the charity match. I've been in contact with a few of the other lads that took part. Like I was talking to you know, Kyle Cook, the keeper. I was talking
Oh
to
yeah, yeah.
him, and I was talking to Kino Costello about it.
Good old
Kino's
kid.
he's a legend. I love him.
What
He
a
was.
boy.
So I'm pretty sure me and Kyle are gonna do like some sort of shooting session in the future. So that's gonna be a bit surreal. So it's nice, you know. Hopefully to
Dead.
some event, you know, get involved with something. Hopefully, you know,
Yeah,
just
hopefully
trying to.
more and more things like that in Ireland. We don't have enough of them, so hopefully it'll continue happening.
Yeah, I just want to prove people, you know. It's like especially because I'm young and as I said, like the whole TikTok kid. You know, I want to prove something to people. Like, yeah, no, look, I've achieved this now. So this is I was like to all my friends, I was like, lads, look, all these people giving me shit now. I'm on the phone to Anfield Agenda and Paddy. You know, like look at me now. So
You're
this,
very natural at this, by the way. You're very, very easy to speak to. You come across really well.
I
Yeah,
appreciate that
really
genuinely.
keep her lit. Never keep her going now. Don't even. It might be tough some days. You might be like, oh, why don't I have this? But just keep
Mm,
plugging away and it'll happen. Trust me.
yeah. So I that really does mean a lot coming from you too. Genuinely, it really really does. Like that's kind of
No,
all I can think of.
you come across really well. You present yourself well. Your demeanor is good. You're very welcoming. Yeah, I mean, no notes from me, mate. No notes. All good.
Absolutely.
uh, have you got any like good memories over the past few years with social media? Anything that really is like,
Yeah, I'm actually riddled with Alzheimer's, so I have no memory at all.
Um, Good memories in social media. We raised a lot of money in the Champions League final stream for Cystic Fibrosis Ireland, and that
mm,
was nice. The Super League, I would say the Super League
yeah,
being killed off was probably it because as well as that happening, our channel hit 100k subs on YouTube
mm,
during that whole thing. We got like 14,000 subs in 2 days,
Jesus,
which was nuts. So that will always hold a special place in my heart because I would have genuinely stopped watching football. If we had signed for the Super League, I'd have just hung up my microphone and that would be the end of me caring about football. So probably that for me, seeing everybody come together. Very rarely happens that all fan bases will come together for something. So that's probably the big thing for me.
It was a bit surreal, to be honest.
It was nuts. It just came out of nowhere and all of our worlds were just
Yeah,
shaken. And then thankfully it just went away as quick as it came.
yeah. Luckily, Paddy, you have anything to say about that?
Oh yeah, well, that was mad. Thankfully, I'm with Craig on that. That would have been the end for me too. But if it comes to recent football memories, I suppose going to Paris was a great experience. You know, the fan zone and all that. Although we didn't get the result, but it was still a great atmosphere. And just with this football team, all it's. I'm meeting Klopp, I suppose. Yeah, but to not
Yeah,
drop that in there. Meeting Klopp after one of them games was a highlight and a moment that I always remember. However, I would like to meet him in a nicer setting, probably with a couple of beers in hand. So if you keep working hard, you never know. You might get invited
yeah,
to one of them events, and you never know. Have a smoke and a beer with. I don't even smoke, but if he asks me to have a smoke, I will have a smoke. He
yeah.
loves this. He hoofs them into him, like apparently.
Yeah, I remember I was at a game. It was Coutinho's last game actually. It was when we just signed Virgil, and I got interviewed for the Premier League channel. I think I was only about 12. I don't know what age it was. It was younger anyways. And the interviewer asked me, "What do you think of Virgil for 75 million?" I said it was a bit too expensive, and I've forever eaten my words since. But it was a bit surreal because we went down and Virgil actually walked past us, and just seeing he's so huge, he's absolutely like gigantic in real life. It genuinely feels like a mountain is just casually walking beside you, and just seeing him was just, now looking back on it, how surreal that is just crazy to me. Like,
Yeah, he's huge. I should probably mention, yeah, the 7-2 clip as well was probably something that,
oh
because it took me by surprise. I didn't even know I'd said half of that, because I don't remember what comes out of my mouth a lot of the time. And then
yeah,
the stream finished and I looked at my phone and Connor had messaged me going, "That's everywhere." And I said, "What's that?" And
yeah,
he said, "The 7-2 clip." And then, yeah, it was on radio stations. We had huge TikTok and Instagram accounts with millions of followers asking could they use the footage, and it got us in documentaries. It's just
mm,
yeah, that changed our channel's trajectory, I think.
yeah. Uh, sure. I have me and my two mates, specifically Brent and Coista is their name. Like we play football like all the time. Like we were out in Tech United yesterday, playing some football and like doing some clips and stuff. And so it's nice to have that whole demeanor. Like we were making content, and like, it was nice to have support from them to like go, no, I'll help you, because Constantine is his name, but we call him Coista. He's unreal keeper, and Brent is a midfielder who's ridiculous. He's better
Your
than
friends
me.
don't do normal names, do they? They like them exotic.
Yeah,
Good name.
but
Brent.
Brent
Brent.
he
Brent,
he's such a cool dude. I love them both. Like genuinely, they're such cool dudes, and they've been really supportive of me with the whole stuff, and I've been supportive back with football, and just talk to them in general if they need anything. So it's just nice to have that whole friendship.
Tech's a great club as well.
Yeah, it's brilliant. We were talking to the manager. He was asking us if we wanted to play, but we couldn't because we didn't have our shin guards. But it was interesting to say the least.
Nice.
But yeah, have you got anyone you really want to make content with? Anyone just in general? Like the dream collab?
Oh
Mia
God.
Khalifa.
Um, I want to get on the Happy Hour podcast. I've had Jack Mate on airs, and
Yeah.
Pieface, making content with Pieface
Yeah.
was so much fun. That man he's infectiously positive. It's great. Do you know what? No, not really for me. I don't really. I'm not involved in the world of content creators as much as others. I don't pay attention to a lot of what's going on. But yeah, getting on the Happy Hour would be amazing at some point because I love Jack and Stevie and Robbie and the stuff that they do. So yeah, that's probably it for me.
I think in terms of social media and like the kind of target demographic I'll be aiming to kind of expand into, I would say that the Mac Daddy of people you could make content with is the Sidemen. So
Yeah.
if you could ever get involved with the Sidemen in some way, you're doing all right, and you'll get a nice bit of clout. So yeah, Pieface, I love Pieface as well. But yeah, that'd be great. I'm looking forward to exploring and see where that goes. Who knows? Just keep working hard
Yeah.
and hope for the best. But Mia Khalifa as well would be great, as I said.
You know what I will say though is what Paddy has said and who I've said is I would say it's so nice to see good people rewarded in the industry. And the people Paddy's mentioned there, like the sidemen, Jack Mate plugging away for years, Pie Face. So good to see good people get the opportunities and succeed. It really does
Mm.
give you the confidence to just keep trying to do things in the right way.
Yeah, like for me, just even getting the chat to use is surreal for me. Like I would have never thought I would have got the chat to use. Like as a Liverpool fan, it's a bit surreal. Like there's clips of me before, like about an hour ago, absolutely shitting myself because I'm literally shaking. Like oh my god, like I'm shitting
I was
myself.
watching.
So
I was
oh
watching. I
well,
was trying to
there,
set stuff up.
there you
I
go.
was trying to set stuff up, and I go, God, if only you knew.
Yeah,
We're all normal people. That's the thing. Like, there's nothing.
I am
One thing
no.
you learn is when you meet people, no matter how famous they are, you'll understand how down to earth they are. It's one of
mm,
the things that struck me most about meeting Graham Hunter when I did. And I've met quite a few famous people, Haman, Smeetzer, lots of footballers, and they're all sound. They're all
yeah,
just down to earth people. There's no special traits that they have, just right time, right place, and a good work ethic, and
yeah.
they've succeeded.
Like
Yeah.
I've always like wanted to try and do. I texted Kyle Cook about like getting similar people from the charity match to do like a massive football shoot or something like that if they were interested. Like the old sidemen used to do it, like a massive shooting challenge or something, like what I'm trying to say, like those sort of stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
So if I was to ever get involved in something like that, like it would be ridiculous. I think it would probably make my year if I was to ever get involved in anything. Just even when you text me saying I'll do it, like I was like surreal. I think Damo said it to you, Craig, um when he told me he knew you. I was like, what the fuck. Like I didn't believe
Another
it.
Irish guy. Shout out to the Irish guy as well, Michael Ramsey, absolute top bloke. Done a few
Mm,
videos with him. He's as nice as you'd expect him to be as well. Really, really lovely guy.
yeah. No, it's nice to see like all the Irish creators, kind of being with each other and being there for each other. Like, oh, if they need help with content, tips, all that sort of stuff. It's nice, to see the collaboration. Like even when you two are on like the watch-alongs or whatever, use like the reviews or whatever for the matches. It's nice to see like everyone collabing with each other. It's really good to see.
I wish there was a bit more support from the professional side of it to content creators. I don't think that there is that ecosystem in place in Ireland yet, and it's something that I've struggled with because you don't get many breaks here. There's not
Mm.
many Irish companies or publications that are really giving YouTubers and content creators a platform unless you're selling makeup
Yeah.
and you're a woman or something like that. You've seen a few of it because it's mainstream in the magazines and it's got to
Yeah.
make sense. But I suppose it's much harder to pitch angry man screaming abuse at television and make that
yeah.
mainstream. So I kind of
Yeah.
understand it to an extent. But yeah, look, I just hope the industry keeps growing and Irish people keep realizing that we can do it as good as anyone else. And I think Jack Septic guy kind of
Yeah.
gave us all a bit of hope there, didn't he? What a creator he is.
Uh, I will never forget when I was younger watching his videos. Like definitely just seeing how surreal, like it's an Irish YouTuber, how big he's gotten. Like he's probably one of the three big dogs of YouTube, if you ask me, with him, PewDiePie and Markiplier, the gaming scene. If you ask me, the big dogs, if anyone was to get a collab with them, it's just ridiculous, if you ask me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look, I'm too old for the gaming industry. I don't
Mm.
understand how it's a thing. It wasn't a thing when I was growing up. It's all so new to me that I just smile and nod along on, yeah.
I have a question here, Paddy, for you from my mate Ben. He asks, if like what were your memories with like Rory stories and like all that sort of stuff, and if you still talk to them or whatnot, if you're comfortable saying anything about it.
Yeah, still talk to Rory. Yeah, we always give each other advice on different things popping up for each other every now and then.
Mm,
Obviously, you aren't don't work together anymore, but it could happen down the line. Maybe you
mm,
making an appearances in the videos. But yeah, no, he's doing well. Thank God, he's flying. I'm doing well. And yeah, it was just great crack with the videos with him back in the day. Literally meeting up on a Saturday and just recording like a multitude of videos to put out through the week. And yeah, there was
mm.
we had a good fun doing that, and it kind of got fairly popular. So I'm glad it was like my basically college course in content creation where I would learn the do's and the don'ts, and it definitely set me up. And without that, I definitely wouldn't be doing my own content now.
Yeah, I do remember. Is it the Delhi clip, the sketch with
Mm.
I think it's the one where like you order the whole menu, the whole deli. I
Oh yeah,
remember
that was
watching that.
method acting anyway. I tell you that I was definitely done that before.
I think everyone has at some stage. Let's all be honest now. when you see
Yeah,
He's
the
a lovely
highlights.
guy as well, Rory. He's a
Yeah,
really nice guy.
I remember he went into one of my cousin's work, I think in the job, and basically I think he told stories or had a bit of crack with them, I think at one stage. So
Same with
it's
my
good to
daughter's
see.
secondary school. They did
Yeah,
a thing with there as well.
that's really cool. That's really
he's
cool.
a great guy. If you meet, if anyone will meet him, will say, and his live shows are very good. And he's obviously a massive mental health advocate in Ireland, and he's done a lot of work for that, and he's very
Mm.
passionate about that. So yeah, he's a top guy.
Yeah, like that's something I'm really trying to promote is the whole mental health side of things. Like I've held I think 3 charity streams in the last 3 months. I held one for Stand Up to Cancer, which was obviously with for my friend. We raised I think €150 for them. Then we did one for the Trevor Project, which is in support of like LGBTQ support and suicide prevention for those people in need, which I think we raised €60, I think. And then
Fair play.
today we're doing Hope for the Day, and as it stands, we've raised €26, so it's still a long way to go for the stream as well. We still have them still streaming for like another
As
four
I said,
hours
when
after
we
this.
jump off, send me the link and I'll make sure to send the donation before I get on. We've a stream scheduled for about 20 minutes, so we're gonna have to leg it soon.
Yeah, that's no worries. Just whenever you need to, don't worry about it. But to me, I just really do appreciate the you giving me your time. It really does mean a lot to me. Like it really
Anytime, mate.
does.
Pleasure.
Honestly, it's no problem whatsoever. Always here to support other content creators, particularly Irish ones. I won't
Mm.
lie. We do like other Irish content creators. We want to
Yeah,
give them a hand up if we can.
yeah. No,
Yeah, absolutely.
because I've been such big fans of you, like it really does sit with me. Like this is like a bucket list check off for me. It's just getting to talk to two, in my opinion, the two biggest Liverpool creators on TikTok and YouTube, if you ask me. And then you have Keno with you as well. So
Good
it's
old Pino, huh?
I love Keno. He followed me on TikTok, and I think I cried that night. I was like, oh my god, Keno, and
Love that.
it
Love
was
that.
insane. But yeah, I'm just trying to help out people with the charter streams because I know it does affect a lot of people. So
Yeah,
I try to just do my best with a lot of it. So yeah,
yeah, absolutely. No, fair play to you. You're doing great work.
I really do appreciate it.
It's very heartwarming to see you doing it from such a selfless place and doing it in such a positive way, Cal. So, keep doing what you're doing and you should be very proud of yourself.
Thank you. No,
Exactly.
it does mean a lot coming from you. It really, really does. Like, um, I don't think I'll ever, have a bigger moment than this. So it's just
Oh,
one of
you
them
Ah,
things.
will.
no,
You
keep
will.
working
So,
hard. I'm sure you will. Don't worry.
hopefully, you never know. You never know.
Keep
But
words. Keep plugging away. Keep plugging away. We'll be asking you to come on all our shows one day. Don't worry.
Yeah,
Trust me.
that's why we really do this because we know some people will explode and we'll
Yeah,
go, do
we're
you
heading
remember
in
that
here early.
time?
We're investing our stocks in you. Don't let
fucking
us down.
scouting unit, is it?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
The guilt trips will be laid on thick and fast
Yeah,
now if you become the next Jacksepticeye guy.
yeah, exactly. Project PewDiePie.
No, sure. If you ever do need anyone to help you out with anything, I know it's a bit mad coming from me to use, but genuinely, it'd be my pleasure to help you out with anything. Genuinely, it'd be my
Ah,
pleasure.
no,
I'm sure we'll take you up on that at some point. There's lots. The channel's growing and evolving all the time, and we're trying to
Mm.
add in different content creators and different bits and pieces. So yeah, don't
Yeah,
don't. You never know. Someday you might look at your inbox and say, "Oh, message there." So yeah, as I
hopefully.
said, you're good at what you do, man. So
I
it's always
appreciate it.
good to have people comfortable in front of a camera.
Oh yeah, I've been doing this for a while. I think I've had a YouTube channel since for 2 years, and then I started a more like vlog, gym, football channel.
What's this
Few.
gym you speak of? It doesn't ring any bells for me. Paddy
scary, I
keeps mentioning it as well, but I don't under. It doesn't mean that to me.
think.
No, I used to be a little bit overweight myself, so I was like, I'm gonna take it into my own hands and make the change. That's why, Paddy, I really do like appreciate that whole thing with you with the weight loss, and I am really excited to see how it goes because yeah, definitely feels
Actually,
like
I don't get me wrong. Being a fat fucker isn't. It has its perks too. It is fun to eat
ah
all the time, but
that
I
is
just
My
want to.
God, man, I love food. I
Yeah,
just love it.
yeah, exactly. Don't we? I think it's just. I don't know. Just I can do it all. I've had my time. I'll see what it's like now when I lost the weight, and I might put it back on for the crack. We'll see.
no,
Thanks
it
for
is
all the.
really nice.
I just gotta ride it.
No, it is really good to see because like the whole weight loss thing where you had like you can see it like it's gonna be great. I can tell you have the work ethic for it and everything. So I know for a fact that next boxing fight will be hopefully a win because I will be there whenever it is on. I will be in the stands somewhere. So I'll
Cheers.
make sure I
I
get
hope
there.
to be in his corner for the next one.
100% already. Yeah, it's booked.
I'll have my massive sign saying "Go on, Paddy." I'll have my massive sign. No
We love
worries.
that. We love that.
But yeah, no. At what time do you have to hop onto that stream at, by any chance?
I gotta leg it now if you don't
Yeah,
mind. I
that's
just want to go to
perfect.
the loo and stuff before we're
That's
on a
no
half
worries.
eight,
I
and
really
I've
do
got to get set up.
appreciate. I really do appreciate the time, genuinely. Thank you, Paddy. Thank you, Craig, so
Ah,
much.
mate, pleasure.
Our
Anytime.
pleasure. Honestly, and I know people say anytime, but we genuinely mean it. Just hit us up anytime. If
Yeah.
we can offer advice or anything, that's what we're here for. And keep doing what you're doing. And don't forget to send me that link as well.
I will. I'll send it as soon as the call ends. So thank you so much.
Yeah,
I really do
no,
appreciate it.
pleasure's ours, mate. Thank you so much, Cal. Have a
Thank
good
you.
evening.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.